Hello guys, in this video we will create Ethereum Solidity Smart Contract with address book logic. So this contract allows us to save the Ethereum account address to blockchain with an alias name. Today we will create array in a mapping. We will create mapping inside mapping. We will create interesting remove address function. This contract will be in our GitHub. Link for GitHub will be at the description for the video. You can check it, you can work with it. So let's enjoy our lesson. Let's go. As usually, we create our contracts in Solidity IDE. The link will be also at the description. So let's create contract file. The name of contract file will be address book, paste license and compile Pragma Solidity, and let's create contract. For the first, let's create variable mapping. The key will be address, and this address we will get address array. So this mapping allows multiple addresses to have address books. So the second variable will be also the mapping, and inside of this mapping we put another mapping with address key, and this key will get the string. So this mapping allows for us to create an address book for different addresses and add aliases for each address. Now guys, let's create a function that allows us to return addresses from our address book. Guys, very important thing that in this function we return array that will be only in this function, so it will be not safe in blockchain, so we will put memory for this array. So this function just returns this address array from this address that we put here. For now, let's create function that will return for us alias for each address. So with this function we just get our string for each address. The string is alias from our address book. And of course we can only have one alias for one address from one address book. And of course these functions does not have sense because we don't have functions that will add some addresses to our address books and key addresses. So let's create functions that will add address to address books and aliases for each address. So our function are done. So here we add address to our addresses array with method push, and here we have alias to our aliases mapping. Also now I want to create not important but a simple interesting function to get length of this mapping. When we will deploy and test our contract, it will help for us little bit. And now guys, most important and the most interesting function in this contract, it is remove address function. So for first we will get the length of our array and put it to the new uint variable with name array length. So our uint variable are ready, and now we need to create a basic loop for and require if. So we need to verify that this address that we put will be equal to our address from array with index I that we loop from 0 to array length. And then in this require we need to get second require. So here we require that array length need to be more than 1, and our uint I from our loop for need be less than array length subtract 1. And in this line, very important thing, we will replace our address from our array with index I. We will replace to last address from array, and we will delete it because we can't just delete from middle of array, so we need to replace and then only delete. And guys, after we replace our address to the last address from our array, we will delete this address, then we will use method pop. This method pop allows us to string our array, and then we delete alias from our address, and that's all. Guys, the contract is ready. Now let's save for us 3 different addresses. So here we have 3 different addresses, and when we will put it on array, this address will be in 0 index, this address will be in one index, and this address will be in index with number 2. So let's deploy our contract and test it. We choose first address from Remix London environment and let's deploy it. Okay, contract already deployed. This address will be our message sender, and now let's just add our addresses to our address book. For this we will use function add. So add first address, string will be, for example, mom, transaction is done. Add second address with string dad, transaction is done, and let's add the third address. It will be, for example, son. Okay, our 3 addresses already added to our address book. Let's check it in our getLength function. GetLength uint3. So we have 3 addresses in our address book. Okay, everything is working now, but let's test another function. For example, let's test the function return addresses from our array. Copy our message sender address, paste return address, and now we see the addresses of our 3 addresses that we already save in our address book. 1 address, 2 address, and the third address. All are the same. Now I want, for example, return alias of this address, so I will test return alias function. Again, paste message sender address and this third address. This is mom, this is dad, and this is son. So we paste this the third address, click call, and we see son. So everything are right. Okay, let's test second address. Need be second address. Okay, dad. And the first address, mom. Everything work. And very important thing, let's test remove address function. So for example, I want to delete this address from our 0 index. Just put here into remove address icon and click remove address. Transaction failed. Let's check what is wrong. I understand what is problem. Very small mistake, but very important. When we done this loop function, we will stop it with break call. So when we delete some address from our address book, we would break this function, so stop it. Sorry guys, let's redeploy our contract and just test remove address function. So for first add address mom, add second address dad, and as last time it will be the second address will be son. Check length array 3. Okay, so for example we want to delete first address from our address book, paste 2148 and here 2148. So let's remove address. Transaction is ready. Get length, now it is only 2, and if we check our addresses from our addresses array, we will see only these 2 addresses. Here on the first one 2DB and the second one address 225. So when we delete these addresses, we put this address here and this address we put here. Guys, that's all. We already tested all functions. I know the structure of mapping inside mapping may be not easy for beginners. Array inside mapping is also maybe not easy for beginners. If you have some questions, you can always chat me in a Telegram. The link will be at the description for this video. If you not understand something, try to read Solidity documentation, try to chat me, try to check some information in internet, try to take some practice by yourself. This contract I will put to our GitHub as always. The link will be at the description. If you want to support me and this channel, please put finger, please subscribe. Also you can send some crypto for me. Information will be at the description. Also you can buy my NFT from OpenSea. I hope you enjoy this experience. I hope you enjoy this lesson. I hope this information will interesting and helpful for you. And bye for now. Bye bye.